In today's interconnected world, certain cities stand out as the beating heart of global culture, finance, and communication. These are the global cities key hubs where business, people, and ideas come together to shape both local and international dynamics. So, what are global cities? These cities are not just large urban centers. They are the engines that drive the global economy. They host corporate headquarters, international financial institutions, and cutting edge infrastructure that facilitate global trade. Global cities are responsible for nearly 60% of the world's GDP, or the gross domestic product. To gain insight into global city, we spoke with Marilo, a longtime resident of Bacoor, Cavite. Here's what she had to say.
Si Marilo Vivero, 52.
How would you describe the global city in your own words?
Para sa akin, may lalarawan ko ang global city na ito ay isang maunlad na city. Kasi doon mo makikita yung magagandang mga establishment, malalaking building. Parang lahat ay nandun na. Ma-improve na lugar.
Global cities drive much of the world's economic activity. They are the location of major stock exchanges, corporate headquarters, and financial institutions that connect economies around the world. The New York Stock Exchange. It serves as a global financial center. What characteristics do you think define a city as a global city?
Langian nila, ay sa lugar nila is nandun na lahat, kompleto na yung mga pangangailangan mo,
Accessible sa lahat.
accessible na sa lahat,
Hospital,
lahat
work.
basta mga pangangailangan ng isang mamamayan.
Do you consider the place where you live a global city? Why or why not?
Para sa akin, hindi pa siguro kasi yung lugar natin na tinirhan is hindi pa naman yung lugar lang mismo yung sana ko nakatira ha. Wala naman, mayroon pero hindi siya ganon kaano sa global city.
But these cities also serve as cultural epicenters from London's West End to Paris art galleries. Global cities are where culture blend and thrive. Global cities' major transportation hubs, airport and transit systems like that link them to every corner of the globe. They also influence the trends ideas worldwide. Through technology, media, they set the stage for global change. For instance, Tokyo is known for its influence on technology and innovation. Global cities are often classified into three groups: the beta, gamma, and alpha. Alpha cities like New York, London, Paris, and Tokyo are global powerhouse driving the world's finance and culture. Cities like Sydney, Toronto, and Madrid are beta cities still highly influential, but a step below the alphas. And gamma cities such as Amsterdam and Beijing may not have been the same economic weight, but they are still crucial in the global landscape. Despite of their economic and cultural power, global cities face significant challenges. Overcrowding, high living cost, and rising inequality are pressing issues in many of these urban centers. Cities like New York and London, for example, grapple with affordability and housing crises, which leave growing number of people without access to safe and affordable housing. Global cities are the backbone of globalization. They power the world's economy, inspire cultural exchange, and shape the flow of information and ideas. Yet, to ensure their future success, we must address the challenges they face like overcrowding, inequality, and sustainability, so that the cities continue to thrive as the heart of the connected world.
Some cities, known as global cities, stand out as centers of activity and influence in the world that is growing more interconnected by the day. However, what makes a global city? What characterizes them? To be considered a global city, a city must possess international recognition and familiarity. It must be a name known around the world, a symbol of culture, commerce, and innovation. Global cities actively participate in world affairs and international events, influencing trends and policies that span across national boundaries. A significantly large population is necessary. Millions of people frequently call these cities home, fostering thriving communities that promote cultural and economic vibrancy. A global city is distinguished by its large international airport, which links it to the rest of the world and makes it easier for people and products to move around. For smooth travel, both inside and outside of the city, an advanced transportation infrastructure is essential, whether it takes the form of vast mass transit networks or expansive roadways. Global cities are home to stock exchanges, legal firms, and international financial institutions, hubs where economic decisions are made and capital flows freely. For modern international firms to function effectively in the global economy, they require an advanced communications infrastructures. Global cities are home to internationally recognized galleries, theaters, and museums that draw millions of visitors a year, demonstrating the importance of cultural institutions. Powerful media outlets with a global perspective help shape narratives and influence public opinion across continents. Finally, the presence of major sports facilities and teams capable of hosting international events adds to the city's allure, showcasing its ability to unite diverse populations through sport. The Global City Index evaluates these characteristics across 5 dimensions: business activity, human capital, information exchange, cultural experience, and political engagement. Each dimension reveals how well a city performs on the global stage. In 2024, the top-performing global cities include New York, London, Paris, Tokyo, Singapore, Beijing, Los Angeles, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Chicago, each contributing uniquely to the fabric of our global society. The Global Power City Index further assesses urban magnetism, how effectively these cities attract people and businesses. Key areas include economy, research and development, cultural interaction, livability, environment, and accessibility. As we navigate the complexities of our modern world, these global cities remain at the forefront, shaping economies, cultures, and futures. They are not just places on a map. They are vibrant ecosystems that connect us all.
Population growth is a global phenomenon. In every community, the story of change is evident, from rural landscapes to thriving urban centers. The world population has grown rapidly, reaching over 8 billion in 2024. This growth is driven largely by the demographic transitions, reflect significant shifts in the life expectancy, fertility rates, and urbanization patterns. Decades ago, this area was characterized by open spaces, modern houses, and a small, tightly knit community. Global demographic transition explained this change, marked by the shift from high birth and death rates to lower rates as societies develop. For instance, advancements of healthcare and sanitation have significantly reduced mortality rates over time, reshaping communities. Since the Industrial Revolution, urbanization and technological innovation have dramatically altered population structures, paving the way for the bustling cities and larger populations. Residents recall how their community has transformed over the years, new homes, schools, and opportunities. When I first moved here, there was only few houses. Now that it's crowded with people and business, one resident shared. This local change mirrored global trends. Fertility transition theory highlights how cultural shifts and access to family planning have influenced family sizes and population growth. Urbanization has brought both opportunities and challenges, reflecting the dynamic nature of demographic change. While population growth brings development, it also poses challenges: overcrowding, resources shortage, and strained infrastructure. Thomas Malthus warned of these issues in his theory, predicting that unchecked population growth could lead to famine and misery. However, technological advancement have mitigated some of these fears, particularly in food production. Still, the strain on these resources, healthcare and housing remains evident, emphasizing the need for sustainable solutions. Urban areas now house over half of the world's population, creating both opportunities and pressure on existing systems. Through education, innovation, and collaboration, we can create a sustainable future. Demographic trends remind us of the importance of balancing growth with resource management and equity. Fertility transitions theory demonstrates the power of cultural and technological change, while demographic transition theory highlights the potential for long-term stability. Together, these insights show that the population growth is not just a challenge, it is an opportunity to create resilient and equitable society. Together, let's work for a sustainable future. Since 1988, Las Piñas has been seeing remarkable growth back then. The subdivision was just beginning. Few residents and open spaces. Over time, population changes unfolded as more people secured housing loans through programs like PBB, leading to a steady influx of families. Residents noted the transformation in their community. Initially, amenities were limited to a single court and stage. Today, Las Piñas boasts a covered court at its own public school, Pasong Buaya 3 Elementary School, highlighting the progress in infrastructure. However, these changes brought both opportunities and challenges. While the new school provided access to education to many, it also led to concerns about overcrowding, traffic congestions, and disputes among residents. For some, the increase of population has been positive, especially for local businesses near the school and court. For others, the shift has created challenges in maintaining the subdivision's exclusivity. Looking ahead, residents anticipate a more crowded Las Piñas in 10 to 20 years from now. As properties are expanded and rented out, the community foresees further densification. Yet, amidst these changes, many see the potential for continued growth and opportunity in their evolving neighborhood. The story of overseas Filipino worker, a tale of courage, sacrifice, and dreams, began long before we ever called it by the name. It is a story of journeys spanning centuries, carried across oceans, and written in every corner of the globe. It began in the Spanish colonial period during the Manila-Apapalco galleon trade. Filipino sailors, craftsmen, and artisans ventured into uncharted waters, forging the first connections between our islands and distant lands. The seeds of global Filipino workforce were sown in the perilous crossing. Centuries later, the call to cross borders would rise again. The oil boom in the 1970s drew waves of Filipino workers to the vast desert of the Middle East. What was once barren became bustling cities, built in part by the hands of our own. Today, Filipino labor reaches even further, from the glittering skyscraper of Singapore to the suburban homes of Italy. We are nannies and nurses, engineers and educators. Every role filled with quiet dignity, every hour a testament to resilience. Filipinos are everywhere, in every bustling metropolis and quiet village, in every home and hospital. They are the heartbeats behind economies, the invisible hands shaping industries. Yet, beyond the statistics lies a greater truth. This is more than a history of labor. It is a history of sacrifice, a tradition woven from love, held together by hope, and strengthened by the unbreakable spirit of the people who build for others even they yearn for a home. The history of overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs, traces back to a story of hope and hardship. Across decades, the reasons remain as varied as the people themselves. Some seek professional growth, drawn by the lure of advanced technology and global opportunities. In a competitive world, experience abroad is a golden key to success. But for many, it is poverty that propels them across borders. Unemployment, low wages, and the relentless struggle to make ends meet drive countless Filipino to look beyond our shores. Yet, this pursuit, the prosperity comes with a risk. The dream of greener pastures often hides harsh realities. Long hours, grueling conditions, and the ache of homesickness are familiar burdens. In the shadows lurk graver dangers, exploitation, abuse, and even human trafficking.
Pumayag akong saktan niyo! Turuan! At halos lahat ng kahayupan pwedeng gawin sa isang tao! Nakalimutan kong tao ako. Kapag ginagawa niyo lahat sa akin!
The cost of absence extends beyond the worker, weakening family ties, lost moments, and growing distance carve gaps into relationships that were once whole. The love remains, but so does the pain. Through sacrifice and struggle, drunk in tears, the story of Filipino worker abroad continues. It is a story of living to build, of losing to gain, of separation in the name of love,